Imagine waking up every morning knowing that you have more than enough money to cover all your living expenses, invest in the future, and enjoy the finer things in life without worrying about a thing. Sounds like a dream come true, right? But what if I told you that this feeling of comfort and security is not just reserved for the ultra-high net worth individuals, but rather it's attainable by anyone who understands one simple yet powerful concept, the concept of enough. For decades, researchers have been studying the habits and financial strategies of the wealthiest people in the world. And what they've found is truly fascinating. It turns out that it doesn't take a fortune to feel comfortably wealthy. In fact, according to Thomas Stanley's book The Millionaire Next Door, individuals who earn an annual income of $250,000 or more have a very specific financial profile. But what about the rest of us? What does it really take to achieve this feeling of comfort and security? Well, let me share with you some shocking numbers. According to a study by Fidelity Investments, 71 of Americans feel financially secure when their household income reaches $75,000 per year. That's right, $75,000 per year is the magic number that triggers a sense of financial confidence in most people. But here's the thing, this number doesn't account for lifestyle inflation, taxes, and other expenses. It's actually much lower than what most experts recommend. To put it into perspective, consider the fact that the median household income in the United States is around $67,000 per year. That means that nearly 50 of households are already living below a comfortable threshold. But why is this number so important? And more importantly, how can we use this information to take control of our financial futures and achieve true comfort and security? These questions will be answered in the rest of our video as we dive deeper into the world of personal finance. According to a recent survey by the Global Wealth Report, nearly half of high net worth individuals worldwide consider themselves comfortably wealthy when their annual income exceeds $250,000. This figure is significant, considering that in many countries, even earning six figures can be considered a benchmark for financial success. However, it's essential to note that this number varies greatly depending on geographical location and cost of living. For instance, in cities like New York or San Francisco, the required income to feel comfortably wealthy may be significantly higher due to the high cost of living. The concept of comfortably wealthy also raises questions about what constitutes wealth beyond mere financial numbers. Some argue that it's not just about earning a certain amount, but also about being able to enjoy life's luxuries and pursue one's passions without worrying about money. A survey conducted by Charles Schwab found that 63 of investors consider themselves comfortably wealthy when they have saved enough for retirement, paid off their mortgage, and invested in their children's education. This figure highlights the importance of financial planning and the role it plays in achieving a sense of comfort and security. In the United States, the Federal Reserve reports that nearly 40 of households earn more than $100,000 per year. However, this number includes not just high-income earners, but also those with significant assets or investments. The true measure of financial success lies not only in one's income, but also in their net worth and ability to maintain a certain standard of living. The notion of what it means to be comfortably wealthy is often tied to personal values and lifestyle choices. While some individuals may prioritize material possessions, others focus on experiences, travel, or philanthropy. Regardless, the common thread among those who consider themselves comfortably wealthy is their sense of financial security and freedom. According to a study conducted by the American Community Survey, in order to feel comfortably wealthy, one's annual household income would need to be significantly higher than what most Americans currently earn. The survey found that only about 10 of households have an annual income exceeding $200,000. However, It's essential to note that having a high income is just the starting point. One must also consider expenses, taxes, and the cost of living in their region. A study published by the Economic Policy Institute suggests that when adjusting for these factors, even those earning upwards of $250,000 may not feel financially secure. Researchers at the University of Michigan have explored this concept further. They found that individuals need to maintain a certain level of discretionary income, approximately 50 of their total household income, in order to truly feel comfortable with their financial situation. Another crucial factor is debt. According to a report by Credit Karma, households with significant amounts of outstanding student loans and credit card debt were less likely to feel financially secure, regardless of their income level. This highlights the importance of achieving not only a certain level of wealth but also financial stability. Notable experts like Thomas Stanley, author of The Millionaire Next Door, suggest that individuals need to rethink traditional notions of what it means to be wealthy. He argues that one's net worth should be significantly higher than their annual income, with some estimates suggesting 3–5 times the household income is a good benchmark. These studies and findings underscore the complexity of determining what level of wealth truly leads to feelings of comfort and security. As we dive deeper into the world of wealth, it's essential to understand that the number one factor influencing people's perceptions of financial comfort is not their income level, but rather how much they need to live comfortably. According to a survey conducted by Charles Schwab, 73 of Americans believe that $250,000 or more is required to achieve financial comfort. However, these numbers can vary greatly depending on geographical location and lifestyle choices. For instance, the same survey found that respondents in the West Coast tend to have a higher threshold for financial comfort, with an average of $360,000. Meanwhile, those living in the South were more likely to settle for $240,000. What's striking is that these numbers often far exceed what's necessary to cover basic expenses. In fact, research by Go Banking Greats suggests that Americans spend approximately 50 of their income on housing, transportation, and other necessities. This means that even with modest incomes, individuals can still enjoy a comfortable lifestyle without breaking the bank. But how does this translate in real-world terms? For example, according to data from the Census Bureau, the median household income for the top 10 of earners is around $250,000. Meanwhile, high net worth individuals like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates have estimated that they need at least $100 million or more to maintain their current lifestyle. These statistics highlight a crucial truth. Financial comfort has little to do with absolute wealth, but rather how much one needs relative to their personal circumstances. By setting realistic goals and adjusting our expectations accordingly, we can create our own definition of financial comfort, one that balances security with the freedom to pursue our passions. For years, we've been conditioned to believe that becoming comfortably wealthy is a matter of earning 6 figures or more. But the truth is, it's not just about the amount of money in your bank account. It's about the feeling of security and freedom that comes with knowing you have enough to cover all your living expenses, invest in the future, and enjoy life without worrying about a thing. A study by Fidelity Investments found that nearly 70 of Americans believe they need at least $1 million to feel financially secure. But what's interesting is that this number has been rising steadily over the years, despite the fact that the cost of living hasn't increased proportionally. In other words, we're resetting our sights on a higher and higher target without necessarily becoming any more financially stable. But what does it really take to feel comfortably wealthy? According to a survey by Charles Schwab, It's not about the number itself, but rather how you feel about your financial situation.